Hi, it's Dr. Elisha Van Dusen with New Hope Chiropractic. It's not exactly known what causes ganglion cysts to grow, but various theories support their development after joint injuries that allow tissue to create fluid and leak out, while some ganglion cysts are generally benign and only cause a little bit of discomfort. Others can be really painful and also increase joint stress and restrict the movement of your joints. Traditional medical treatments exist, but they may not eliminate the cyst long term. Fortunately, there's growing support for chiropractic interventions and treatment that can provide an amazing remedy for this common joint ailment. So first of all, what is a ganglion cyst? Well, it's a fluid-filled, non-cancerous lump that seemingly appears out of nowhere. It can disappear and change size and shape too. It typically grows out of the tendons or joints in the wrist or hand and often is associated with wrist or hand joint stress. Most commonly, it develops in the back of the hand or the wrist. They can also form in the palm side of the wrist and the base of the fingers, fingertips below the cuticle, near the knee or ankle, or also the top of the foot too. It's really uncertain what triggers ganglion cysts, but they commonly appear with repetitive or strenuous hand use as the tiny bones and joints lose healthy alignment. And these misalignments can lead to abnormal stress patterns, alter your muscle and tendon function, and eventually create wrist and hand disorders. So what are some of the symptoms here? Well, the main sign is a bump beneath the skin that can look like a tiny balloon. It's soft, firm, and spongy, and the cyst is filled with thick, sticky, clear, gelatinous material. The size and shape depend largely on the activity and the repetitive hand use, and the cyst near the wrist can enlarge with repetitive use of the wrist and hand, but can be shrunken down with rest or cold compress. Cysts are not always bothersome beyond an abnormal appearance, but they can become uncomfortable, tender, and painful. And the pain also can become chronic and get worse with continued overuse. And when the cyst is connected to a tendon, the affected finger can become weak, and sometimes it'll exert pressure on the nearby nerves, which can cause tremendous pain, tingling sensations, numbness, and eventually even muscle weakness. Depending on the location, ganglion cysts also can restrict your range of motion. Good news is that other than the discomfort and the unsightliness, they aren't really dangerous. Anyone can get ganglion cysts. Typically women are 3 times more likely to get them than men. They typically appear in early to mid-adulthood between 20 and 50, and typically are more common in people who constantly apply abnormal pressure to their wrists or have a history of joint and tendon injuries. Having osteoarthritis in the hands also makes them more likely too. So you see this a lot in people maybe type a lot, or athletes that use their hands and wrists a lot, construction workers. So what are some of the typical treatments here? Well, often painless. These ganglion cysts don't require any treatment. So a lot of doctors and medical professionals will suggest a watch and wait approach. However, some medications and modifications can be used, or even aspiration, taking a needle and getting the fluid out, but those don't really address the real cause of the problem. Also, immobilization and ice, like I mentioned before, can shrink the cysts, and that can lead to some improvement as well. Generally, as a last resort, there's surgery, but that's usually never a very good option. So how can chiropractic treatments help? Well, chiropractic wrist and hand adjustments have a great record of success as far as improving joint function and motion. The adjustments have to be specific and gentle to the wrist, and that can change the biomechanics, and in a lot of cases allow the ganglion cysts to go away. So here at New Hope Chiropractic, we've learned that the wrist bones and joints are not moving correctly due to injury, stress on the wrists, even daily use like gripping and pulling, and this causes misalignments or subluxations of the wrist. That puts you at risk for developing fluid buildup in the tendons and joints, and that can create ganglion cysts. So applying gentle and safe adjusting to those areas improves the motion and lessens the pain, and gives you improved wrist function as well, reducing stress on nearby joints, ligaments, and tendons, and corrects the underlying problem, and that allows the body to naturally remediate the ganglion cysts. So check us out at newhopechiropractic.com if you have an issue like that, or you know somebody who does. We'd love to help them out. You can also call us at 714-556-6966, and we'll be happy to see if chiropractic is the right solution for that problem. And with with that, have a very healthy day.